I'm going to read y'all a quote. You can't claim a national championship if you don't beat Michigan. You know who said that? Woody Hayes, Ohio State legend, former Buckeye head coach himself. This is what college football is all about, folks. It's games like this. Because if you're an Ohio State fan, yeah, you won the national championship, and yeah, it was pretty nice. But you can't deny deep down in your soul that you left a little something on the table last year. And yeah, a national championship helps, but it doesn't fully close that wound that Michigan has over you. And the fact that Michigan can say, oh, you won a national championship? Nice. We still beat you. And we didn't even win a single game on the road until we beat you. We were in a transition year. Now is the chance for Ohio State to put all that to silence and to avenge that. Ohio State, Michigan, let's talk about it. Buckeyes favored yet again. I guarantee you Ohio State fans are going to look at that spread and say that is rat poison. We're not even going to pay attention to that. And truth be told, they kind of have a fair reason to have that perspective. Last year, there was probably 99 ways that Ohio State could have beaten Michigan. There was only one way that Michigan could have beaten Ohio State, and yet Michigan found that way. Michigan fans, here's some hope for you. This year, there is more than one way that Michigan can win this game. Because in the trenches, where this game is always decided, okay, Ohio State, 37th in yards per carry this season. Michigan's sitting at 6th. So they do have the run game advantage. Both of these front sevens are going to be elite, though. And I will say, the biggest difference in this game for Michigan from last year to this year is Bryce Underwood's capability. Bryce Underwood hasn't necessarily gone out and single-handedly won them a football game, but you could at least say, you can watch the talent and say, well, Bryce Underwood's capable of that. Davis Warren, we can all agree, wasn't capable of doing that. So just because we haven't seen it from Bryce Underwood yet doesn't mean that we won't. Just something to throw out there. These last 3 weeks for Bryce Underwood, though, this is a concern. 640 yards, 8.3 yards per pass attempt, 3 touchdowns, so he's moving the ball well. 3 interceptions. Michigan, I'll say this straight up. If Bryce Underwood makes one mistake, they will not win this football game. Just won't happen. He cannot make mistakes. And asking a true freshman to not make mistakes against statistically one of the best defenses ever in the history of college football, that's a lot. That is a heck of a lot. This game will be decided in the first quarter. Whoever scores first in this game, I believe, will win this game. My reason being is both of these teams are not built to play from behind. They're both outside the top 80 in the FBS and pass play percentage, so expect a lot of runs. Based on how good these front sevens are, expect a lot of short runs and punts. Okay? Here's something that no one has talked about with Ohio State. They are 87th in the country in total plays of 20-plus yards. So what do I mean by this? Well, they've barely trailed all year, if ever. Their defense hasn't allowed over 16 points. So Julian Sayin hasn't had to convert these 50, 60-yard bombs. It's all dink and dunk, dink and dunk. Don't turn the ball over. Stay within the game script. And the reason why I say whoever scores in this game first wins is because what if Ohio State does have to play from behind? Now, it's similar back to the Underwood argument where it's, well, just because Sayin hasn't hit the explosives doesn't mean that he can't. I think he's probably capable of it, but it's just sort of a yellow flag because we haven't seen it. And so if Michigan's run game, they win that war in the trenches and all of a sudden they strike first, well, Ohio State's going to have to abandon the game script that they have played all year. There hasn't been a single second where they've abandoned their game script. So look out for that. Whoever scores first is most likely going to win this game. Both these teams not built to play behind stylistically. So my question is, on the flip side, here's my concern with Michigan. Okay. Last year, Michigan, before they played Ohio State, had two results that no one really paid attention to. They played Indiana on the road really close last year. Maybe should have won that game. They went out and beat Northwestern 50-6. And then after Ohio State, they beat Bama in that bowl game 19-13. So clearly, they figured something out towards the end of the year. How are they doing right now this year? Well, they barely beat Purdue by 5. They beat Northwestern by 2. They beat Maryland decently, but they still gave up 374 yards in that game. That's a concern to me because Michigan last year was clicking towards the end. They figured it out. I'm not going to say that's the case this year, and that alone makes me lean Ohio State. Injuries matter as well. Michigan's biggest weapon, and the reason why they are top 10 in the FBS in yards per carry, is because they have Justice Haynes. Justice Haynes has been injured and is not playing in this game. Their backup is coming in with an injury as well. Their team captain at safety, Rod Moore, is also injured. That stuff matters, man. That stuff matters. But, I say all this, and Will Johnson didn't play for Michigan last year. Colston Loveland was hurt for Michigan last year. And somehow, by something that is inquantifiable by anything on paper or a box score, Michigan found a way. So they could find a way. But in my right mind, I look at these personnels, and I can't pick against this Ohio State team. Their defense has been flawless, as close to flawless as it gets. And this is the difference for me. The difference isn't as much Underwood to Sayin. It's not the run games. It's the fact that Ohio State hasn't given over 16 points this year. Michigan, their defense is very good, as it always is. But they gave up 31 to USC. They struggled a little bit against New Mexico. Gave up a lot of yards against Maryland. So I think this Ohio State defense is built to end the drought and end the streak, and the Buckeyes take this one 20-10.